For this final assignment, you're going to be preparing your complete action research proposal. You're going to want to read through this assignment, and what you're going to notice is I have these 4 main sections that make up the research proposal. The second section is a literature review, which you've already been working on, so you're going to make any suggested revisions as I review your literature review. But what we're going to focus on over the next 2 weeks is preparing the introduction and the methodology, and you should already have your reference list prepared as well. So you're going to see the introduction has a couple parts. You're going to provide an overall introduction to your proposal. You're going to maybe include some background to demonstrate why the issue is important. You're going to have a section that is the purpose of the study. And so you're going to write a couple sentences about the purpose of your study. You're going to start it with the purpose of this, and you're going to have quantitative, qualitative, or mixed method study is to, and complete the purpose. You're going to list your research questions, and there's going to be a short summary at the end of the introduction. So we have a couple things to help you here. There are 2 sample papers here. So we can see on Laura Andrews' paper that it begins with her introduction. She has her title. You'll notice this is all in APA format. And I want you to take some time to read the introduction. And what you'll notice is she's describing the importance of the problem by citing peer-reviewed studies and or statistics. And then here she focuses her problem on her specific independent and dependent variables, again, by using some cited sources. And I really like here how she has these compound citations, which are where you have more than one reference supporting that idea. And as I just showed you, then there's the purpose of the study. So you'll notice there's a heading here, and it's bold, and it's justified to the left, which is part of the APA formatting requirements. The purpose of this quantitative study is to, and then she states what it is, and she includes her independent and dependent variable as well as her target population or her target audience. And then you're going to list your research questions, which we've already been working on through a number of different assignments. And then there is a quick little summary here that kind of tells what's coming up. That helps transition to the rest of the paper also. So it talks about the literature review followed by the methodology. So then you're going to see here is just the literature review, which you've already been working on. I'm going to go back to our other document here on the assignment. So we saw the literature review. Well, then there's the methodology section. And here you're going to be explaining how you're going to conduct your research specifically. And you're going to include, it's going to start off with a brief introductory paragraph or 2 that just provides an overall methodology. And then you're going to have your headings again. You're going to have the data collection, which is going to talk about what data collection methods you're using. You want to focus on what you learned this semester, including survey, observations, interviews were required. Maybe you have a document analysis or looking at some existing test results. You're going to describe your participants or your sample. So who are you gathering this data from and how? Then you're going to talk about your data collection instruments, and you're going to have at least a paragraph for each of your sections, for your survey, for your interview, for your observation. And then you're going to describe your data collection procedures. So let's go back and take a look at the sample paper. So you can see we have her literature review here, which I'm going to fast forward through. And then we have the methodology section. This is a main section, so you can see it starts with a centered, each of these sections is going to start with a centered title that's bold. Here is the brief introductory paragraph to the methodology. And then here we have the first subsection. So again, it's bold and justified to the left. We have data collection. Then the participants or the sample section. Data collection instruments. And then the procedures. So you see the data collection procedures are a narrative about exactly how you're going to collect the data. So I suggest taking the time to read these examples to understand. And then finally, the last section is again references. So it again has a centered bold title, and then you can see the references are in alphabetical order by last name, also in APA format. I also want to point out how each of these main sections, the 4 sections, starts on its own page. So what I would recommend is in your document, when you are at the end of a section, you use the menu to insert a page break so that the next page will always start with the new section.